Hello everybody, and welcome back. My name is Kari, and today I am doing my July TBR. Yes, I know it's the 11th when I'm filming this, but look, life happened. Yeah, that's all I got. Life happened. My parents came up for the 4th, so I was busy with them, and it just, you know what? Leave me alone. Anyway, oh god, this month, okay. My June TBR sort of went. June was an excellent reading month for me, but my TBR did not go great. Which means I still have several books from that TBR that I want to read. Which also means that I'm going to adapt my spins to either 3 or 4 depending on how well I can fit this nice stack of like 10 books next to me into the prompts that come up. It's my game, my rules. So here we go. Here's the books that I want to fit in and that I will read this month, or at least that I'm planning on reading, and then we'll see how that works. I did start The Sceptered Isle by Mercedes Lackey and Robert Galis in June. I read about 150 pages on the 4th. There's this thing called Bayfest in Duluth, and it's outside, so we went and hung out for a couple hours. We were there for about 7. So for a couple hours I read this. But at any rate, Elizabethan Times and Fairies. And by Elizabethan I mean Tudor, because this one starts before Elizabeth is even born. Catherine of Aragon is still queen, which means it's before 1533 and all that kind of fun stuff. And basically the Dark Elves are trying to get Mary on the throne eventually, and the Light Elves are trying to get Elizabeth on the throne, or specifically some red-haired kid, which is Elizabeth if you know anything about this time period. That said, I am enjoying this book. I love Mercedes Lackey, and it's nice to finally read the first one in this series. It is a quartet, because having read the second and third ones, there were a lot of pieces that I got because they were mentioned enough, but this is the full context of them. Fuck me. This one, my cousin, her friend, and I have started our buddy read of this. We're looking to read about 2 parts every 10 days or so that we can have it done before the end of August. And that is, in case you don't feel like reading, Written in My Own Heart's Blood by Diana Gabaldon. And this is book 7 of the series that will be the death of me, called Outlander. If you don't know what Outlander is about, obviously I'm not going to tell you what's going on in this one because it's book fucking 7 in a 1,200 page book where every single book is more than 800 pages and they just get longer as they go. I'm not bitter. But, right, synopsis. First one is Jamie and Claire. Jamie is in 1700s Scotland, specifically the 1740s. Claire is in the 1940s UK. She goes through the stones, time travels, and obviously they meet up. That's really all I'm going to tell you, because everything else. As I have continued to say, the first one of this series, Outlander, is actually really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is dark, it is gory, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. They get worse as they go. The research is there, but the problem with that is that she feels the need to include every minuscule amount of research in her books, and at this point I'm just really done with Claire. So this one, I have started Beloved. I'm on page 43. This is a book I've been talking about rereading for at least 5 years, because the last time I read it I was 17. This was written by Toni Morrison. It is, let's see. Well, we're just gonna read the back. Staring unflinchingly into the abyss of slavery, this spellbinding novel transforms history into a story as powerful as Exodus and as intimate as a lullaby. Sethi? Its protagonist was born a slave and escaped to Ohio, but 18 years later is still not free. She has too many memories of Sweet Home, the beautiful farm where so many hideous things happened. And her new home is haunted by the ghost of her baby, who died nameless and whose tombstone is engraved with a single word, beloved. So, this. Like I said, 43 pages in. I definitely remembered parts of it, but we'll see how it goes. I did, as you'll see in my June wrap-up, just finish Sing Unburied Sing by Jessamine Ward from my book club. That is part of the main reason, actually, for me rereading this book, because I've heard that they have similar vibes, and I want to see for myself. I also want to read The Life-Changing Magic of Not Giving a Fuck by Sarah Knight, which is a self-help book given to me by my health coach. Information linked down below. She's amazing. I love her. She has helped me so much, you have no idea. And this is the most recent book that she recommended to me. Very good at setting boundaries And quite frankly, God, do I need it. We have Girl, Woman, Ever by Bernadine Evaristo, which follows 12 different women in the UK. It's a fiction, it's a novel. And I've heard mixed things, so I believe this was for the mixed review prompt that came up last month. But it does sound really good, and quite frankly, if I don't read it now, I'm a little scared that it'll just disappear for years, and I want to read it now when it's a little bit more relevant, because 10 years from now, hopefully, theoretically, please all the gods, deities, and God knows what else out there, we will have moved forward in some meaningful capacity. I also want to finish, not the series, but the 3 that I own in the Murderbot Diaries, and so that would be Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells. This follows a non-binary, asexual murderbot. That about covers it through space adventures. It's really fun, it's super cute, and I've been loving it so far. So, I'd like to continue. And then, I got, last month, oh, so this should also be in my haul, a retelling of a classic, because I entered a giveaway on Twitter, and I never win giveaways, like this is the 3rd one I've won in my life. But I won it, and I'm so excited, and that is The Chosen and the Beautiful, I'm so damn excited, by Nevo, and oh my goodness, if you don't know, this is a retelling of The Great Gatsby with a queer Vietnamese. Oh crap, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Vietnamese. Whew. Queer Vietnamese retelling of The Great Gatsby, and The Great Gatsby, I love the writing, the plot, I mean, it's fine, it's good, it's whatever, but the writing in Great Gatsby, I will say, is gorgeous. And so when I heard this was coming out, I was so excited, so I entered the giveaway and I won it. And I meant to read it last month, and then I realized that I had about 16 books on my TBR that I didn't include on my TBR, which you'll see in my wrap-up, so I want to get to this one. I did not even pick this one up, which is unfortunate because it's been sort of just always there in my subconscious, and that is The Dark Queen Rises by Ashok K. Banker. This is the second in, there you are, well, we're not going to get that out right now, in a fantastical, mythical India series that follows 2 boys who are meant to ascend the throne, but there's some complications. I loved the first one. Definitely dark. Check out trigger warnings, sorry, content warnings, which, if you haven't heard of Storygraph, they have content warnings and trigger warnings, so they're fantastic, go check them out. But I love this series, I love India just as a whole. I've never been, it is on my bucket list. Regardless, I want to read this, and so I'm hoping to read it in July. And then this one's been sitting on here for a while, and that is Bedazzled by Beatrice Small. This is a romance book that my cousin lent to me, God, 6 months ago. It's been on my, essentially, this little table for 6 months. Romances are really fast, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the main character being named India, like what? But it's a romance, and I enjoy reading things that other people want me to read, just to see if our tastes overlap at all. So, that said, let me check the time, and then let's get into that. Perfect, we still got 10 minutes. Okay, so, spin number 1. Well, that's fun. We're going with pink. Random number. Oh, fuck me. Well, this is not gonna go well. Let me just tell you. That's not going to help me. Between 1 and 30, I got 17. So, 17. Am I feeling a classic, a historical fiction? What? I don't really know what I'm feeling here. We're gonna go with historical fiction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That'll work. Alright, so this is a nice short one, and this is Code Talker by Joseph Bruchac. This is a novel about the Navajo Marines in World War II. If you don't know, in World War II, everybody was big on trying to break each other's codes and come up with a code that was unbreakable. If you've heard of Alan Turing and the Enigma, yeah, that. The US decided that, hey, you know what would be a good idea? Let's use some indigenous speakers, because nobody else has these languages and nobody else can break them because the indigenous peoples have not left for various reasons, most of which are imposed upon them in a not so nice way. But we ended up enlisting, or they enlisted, I'm not entirely sure of the timeline, but at any rate we had Navajo peoples in the armed forces and we got them to create a code in Navajo, and then they could decode it obviously because it's their language, so that to my knowledge it was unbreakable at the time. Whether or not it's unbreakable now, unclear, don't know, but this is a novel about it, which just sounds really fun. This is gonna end badly for me. What is this? Indigenous. Alright, spin number 2. Fucking hell. Alright, so I do have Indigenous. There we go. I'm going to read The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Woolley, which is by an Indigenous person. So, she is an enrolled member of the Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians and writes about her community, her Ojibwe community in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, otherwise known as the UP here in the US. Oh, nice. Okay. I mean, not nice, but the flap says that it's a young woman who is ready to go to college, and then tragedy strikes in her family and she's got to stay home in her Ojibwe community and deal with that. She doesn't feel like she fits in said community, and so, obviously, problems. But this one. I'm gonna read this one. Oh, okay. Also, that means we're gonna go with 4 spins. Okay, nonfiction. Spin number 3. Also, fun fact, my dad, when he was up, switched all of my prompts so that they face in when you read them, because apparently it bothered him. What the hell? Alright, we're gonna spin it again because I don't want to deal with pink again. Just give me a different fucking color. Thank you. Goodness. Bind up. This will work really well actually because I'm just going to continue with Binti. So I did read one of the stories in here. It does include several novellas as well. I think 2 novellas. And then all 3 books in the trilogy. So nice little bind up. I read one of them. I'm just going to continue and read the next one. LGBTQ+. Oh no! Losing things. And nobody comment that I'm losing my marbles because I lost those a long time ago. This is spin number 4. I swear if it ends on pink I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. Oh no! Ow. It's fine, we're just losing. Stay. I suppose I could've. Neither of those are indigenous. Oh dear me. Anyway. Middle grade. Next one is middle grade. Let's double check that I don't have any middle grade in here. No, I have no middle grade in my nice little pile of death here. Where'd you go? We are gonna go with this one because quite frankly it's right here and I keep seeing it. I think let me rephrase that. The sequel just came out or is going to come out soon. So I've been seeing it quite a lot, but it also looks really good. This is Curse of the Night Witch by Alex Astor. 12-year-old Tor Luna, born with a leadership emblem, but hates his mark and wants to choose his own path. So, on New Year's Eve, he decides to be rid of his emblem and be given a different gift. He gets a different gift, it just happens to be a curse that shortens his lifeline, so he has a week left. You can break the curse, but you gotta go see the Night Witch. That sounds fun. Sounds a little bit dark, but it is definitely middle grade, and considering apparently that I'm about to try and kill myself again this month with my TBR, we're gonna be nice to myself. So, yes, let's choose another prompt, and then I can shut off my camera and curse myself roundly for this idea, but here we are. That was fantasy, by the way. I realize my camera doesn't autofocus and I've been talking too much. So, those are the books I'm gonna read this month, or at least theoretically read this month. Whether or not this goes well is unclear, particularly because I have only read 1 book thus far this month. So I'm gonna need to get my ass in gear. But that's okay. At any rate, that's my July TBR. Let me know what you think of any of these books. Have you read them? Do you want to read them? Etc. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.